Hello, welcome. It is me, Danielle Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome if you are here for Leo season. Who's excited about that energy? Okay. Wait. I got another one. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, Leos. I didn't mean to press that one. I am a Cancer, and Cancer season is over. So maybe that was like a slip up. Okay. Anyway, did you guys enjoy Cancer season? It's about to end. Okay. All the emotions and being sad, all that's about to end. And we are about to go in some bold energy. I'm talking about that Leo lion. Okay. You're talking about being brave. You're talking about conflicts. You're talking about the king of the jungle. You're talking about everyone look at me. I was looking at some meme the other day. Well, are they called memes? I don't know. It was some video, and it was like this guy in a hotel room. I would assume it's in Africa, and the whole wall was glass, and it was this huge lion. He looked like a dragon. I mean, the size of it. I don't think it was AI. I think it's ridiculous that they're in this room. And of course, the comments were off. I think it's ridiculous, one, because it's a lion. Okay. I'm not here with the PETA and all that stuff. I am here for the fearful. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so fear. Leo also represents presidency. So we're going to talk about Trump. We're going to, if you guys here live with me, you want to throw in another leader, just know this is what Leo season is about. So let's get ready. 3, 2, 1. So we are going to pull up the chart. I'm getting better with my graphics on my new streaming service. Okay, so first of all, I just want you to know that I am first of all, hello. I am in my loungewear, and on the bottom here I have on pajamas. I am normally fully dressed, okay? I am tired, I am exhausted. Cancer season has wiped me out, okay? I got a lot going on behind the scenes, personally, business wise. No, it's the same, it's consistent. That is a blessing. At the same time, it's a lot going on, okay? Nothing negative, just a little different. Not spicy. Well, yeah, it's dealing with water elements. So some emotions, being a mom, being at home. Yeah, how is Cancer season doing for you guys? Are you guys all doing okay? First, I want to say I have a lot of stuff, right? We got to get the business down. First of all, like, subscribe, do all those things, because I am working here for free for you. Now, what I do want you to pay for, well, reward me with, is a subscribe, a thumbs up, and a comment. Okay. If you're like, I don't need to comment anything, if you don't have any questions, then fine. Just put an emoji. That helps. You should do that with any YouTuber or any streamer or any podcasters. Hello, my podcast listeners. Hello. I see you. Well, I don't see you, but I hear you and I see you. Okay. You guys are consistent and amazing. I'm so happy you guys are here joining me. With that said, download, share. A lot of people love astrology. A lot of people love tarot. So go ahead and share this gem that I have. Who do I have here? Oh, I love you, Sandra. Sandra's always here and very supportive. Thank you, Danielle, for sharing all your angel work. You are welcome. Thank you for being here and listening. Yeah. So also too, I'm on X. I think I'm going to cancel that X though, because I think I paid for that and I didn't realize I paid for that. So yeah, but I am here on X. I am streaming now on Twitch. Okay. Twitch. I know Twitch. I don't know anything about Twitch, but I am on Twitch because my oldest told me a lot of young people are on Twitch. Now, welcome if you're on Twitch. I have to promote that. So this is my first time saying that, but I'm on Facebook, X, Twitch, and YouTube. So there you are. I do have some other like social media, TikTok, and all that stuff. And I do like very small things on there and cap the week. But this is my love. This is where you're listening, how you're listening to me now. It's where I thrive. Okay. Also, too, I have a free email blast you can join. I recap the weekly astrology on there and I throw in some extra bonus tips. It is completely free. So that's down below. I also have some free tools, some free gifts, a free reading, and a free way of you learning how to, if you're into tarot. So that's down. The link is down below. But join my group. Now this one here is $4.99 a month. It is amazing. Okay, I have a lot of full powerful tools on there. The last post I did is Mercury retrograding in Leo. I also did a timeline on Jeffrey Epstein, and I broke it down astrologically. Those are the last two posts I have, but there are a lot of amazing posts. I have daily readings on there. I have ebooks that are completely free within the subscription. Yeah, and it talks about how to decipher your big three. I have my ebook on how to read your own chart. Yeah, all that is on there. What do we have here, Sandra? We appreciate your uplifting words and infinite wisdom. Thank you so much. You are so kind. Thank you so much. She's giving all the flowers. You know, now that I know how to do my sound effects, I'm excited. I don't know how to turn it off now. Love that for myself. I wish I knew how to turn it off when I wanted to end it, but we're still working. We're still learning how to do things here. Okay, so now let's get into the business, into the tea. Okay, I'm going to pull up my chart here. And we are going to actually, so in this video, I'm going to talk about the sun entering Leo. So happy solar return to all my Leos. I'm going to talk about July 23rd. We have an aspect happening there. Venus will be squaring Mars. It will actually be at a T square. We'll talk about that. And then we have this Leo new moon. Okay. If I have time, I will do the horoscopes and tarot. Yes. And then tomorrow I will be back here live, but I will be saving this. So whenever you're listening to this, and I will be doing Venus entering Cancer. And then we will get into our August transits. Okay. I have a thing that I do for my community. And with the August transits, I talk about what's a good time to manifest, to work, for love, money. I break that down in my group too. So that's something else I do in my group. So now let's start with the sun entering Leo. Now I do want you to understand that anytime something hits 29 degrees, so the sun entering 29 degrees, July 21st, there's an urgency to close something out when it comes to the sun, everything that the light is shining on. So something dealing with your past, your motherhood, your ancestry, your home, your emotions, okay? Something that you're also getting started because there's a cardinal sign. It's like, hurry up, we got to hurry up and finish this. So there's going to be an urgency on the 21st, and on the 22nd, then we get into this fixed energy, and fixed energy meaning Leo. Leo is a fixed sign, is very stubborn, and it's going to hit 0 degrees. And when it's 0 degrees, these things are going to be very potent, meaning that the sun, any planet, when it hits 0 degrees, very strong energy in the sign Leo. Leo is about your self-expression. It's about courage. Also, too, it takes center stage. It's like, everyone look at me. I'm a celebrity. And actually, I love being on stage, okay? It's also the season that you shine without being apologetic. You really tap into some creativity, and creativity, things that are you very passionate about. It's a fire sign, so there is a lot of passion, a little aggression, okay? And lead from the heart. When I say little, I mean not a little, okay? Now, when the sun enters Leo, it's going to immediately have a fire trine with Saturn retrograding, Neptune and Saturn. Also, too, is going to sextile Uranus. So this will have this minor grand trine here. That's very positive. And then still we have the minor grand trine here with this. So it's positivity. When the Leo first, when the sun first enters Leo, what a bold version of yourself, and you're ready to ground into reality because you have that Saturn, you have the Neptune with love, you have Uranus with surprises and being different and something new, and it's very clear in its communication. And still we have this. It's opposing though. There's an opposition here. We'll get into that a little bit later, but this is working well with these planets, but it's not really working well with our ego, okay? So just some plain Leo themes here. You're talking about your ego. You're talking about the sun rules Leo. So the sun is at home in Leo. It's very comfortable here. It's like, oh, this is where I like to party, okay? There's self-expression, there's creativity, there's passion, there's confidence. A lot of things show up, a lot of energy and leading, also romance, more short romance, fertility, giving birth to something because you are creating, okay? Heart energy, the ruler of Leo's body part is the heart, so it's very passionate, a lot of drama, a lot of fiery emotions, very loyal, very expressive. Also, the inner child loves to have fun. Yeah, but you're going to have a lot of spotlight moments, or there will be a lot of spotlight moments, a lot of clashing of the egos, creative breakthroughs, heart-centered decisions. You're going to express yourself with courage. You're going to express yourself with passion. You're going to be your authentic self. because the Leo wants to be your true authentic self, and that will be the theme during Leo season. I shine because I was born to. Okay, I was born to be this way. Okay, now let's talk about some Leo important dates. Leo season, some dates here. Okay, what do I have here in my notes? Reclaim personal power and identity. We have the new moon. It's going to be transformative of the ego. We have bold truths happening. That's going to be revealed. Emotional tensions, heart-centered healing, and some nurturing aspects here as well. That is a Leo season of 2025 in a nutshell. Expressing your truth, rewriting your personal narrative, confronting some illusions around power, and healing what was wounded. Chiron is probably going to be involved here because that is the Chiron is the wounded healer. So now we have the dates. Let me get down here in my notes. Okay, on the 22nd, here we have the sun entering Leo. It's going to sextile. It's going to have a minor grand trine here. So there's some innovation, there's some creativity, while some courage is happening. So you can have some fresh ideas this day. A lot of bold moves. Expect some unexpected opportunities. These are the a sextile is something you have to work for. So anything very creative and out of box, I say do it. Okay, around once it hits Leo season, and then there will be some long term energy, some grounded confidence here, building your legacy through discipline. Excellent for taking responsibility for anything dealing with leadership and creativity, or your ego or your integrity. And then we have Neptune sitting there, and Neptune is even involved with things that are very the secrets are revealed. Okay, love, compassion, charity, oneness. Even if there's some escapism here, it's going to work for you. A good escapism, a good break. Okay, boundaries, they will be dissolved, and it will help you be more creative and bold and on stage. Okay, a lot of love. Illusions are going to work well for you. And illusions always seem kind of bad, but illusions are also dealing with that glamour. You're talking about the lace front, you're talking about the makeup, something in that arena. It's retrograding, so there's some repeating, some redoing, some slowing up, but it will still work for you as well. So let me see. Oh, also too, there's some fear there. Neptune and Saturn also could represent fear, but it's not. You're going to be very bold and courageous with something you probably once feared. So you're going to let go of a fear around visibility. You could reclaim your inner fire. Pluto is also involved here. Pluto is opposing this energy, and this is going to be really interesting because, okay, we'll talk about the new moon first of all. Then we have the new moon coming up, right? And when the new moon hits, it hits at 2 degrees. And I'll talk about the new moon a little bit later, but it is opposing this Pluto. It's opposing your ego. It's a transformation. There's healing, there's intensity, and you can't quite see eye to eye. It's like, is therapy really working for me? I don't know if it's working for me. Or there's this power struggle here and it can't seem a balance. Let's see how this plays out for Trump. Okay. But we'll talk about that a little bit later when I talk about the new moon in Leo. We'll keep that separate, but just know that that is going to happen around this time. Now we have July 31st is the next important date. And on the 31st, we have a Kazemi with Mercury and the sun. And when you have a Kazemi, that means there's a aha. There's an aha moment. There's some clarity here. The truth in the heart of the fire. This is a golden moment of clarity within the chaos of Mercury retrograding. So this is when Mercury retrogrades, and you actually have some clarity here. So watch out for any downloads of declarations, anything very bold. There's going to be a perspective in a shift, a perspective shift happening of some sort. Very positive. Also with that Kazemi, we still have this wide sextile happening here, which is positive. Something unexpected happening. We still have this trine that's wide. The positive energy is slowly changing. However, there is some clarity within this retrograde. And I have a whole video on Mercury retrograde, so check that out. I've done that in the past. Next big date that I see here is around August 7th. And August 7th, the sun is going to be squaring Poisidian. I took that off of here. Actually, let me add up these things here. So it's going to be squaring Poisidium in Scorpio here. And not Juno and Poisidium. Oh, there's Vesta too. But where's my I did not put it up. What is it? Okay, so why do I always do this to myself? make it harder. Okay, so Poisidium is something that's more deep, and it's somewhat like emotional truth versus illusions. There is going to be some issues there, okay? Yeah, square means tension, not very uncomfortable, but just a challenge, okay? And there's going to be some tensions with being enlightened, or some ideas, or some wisdom, or pure thought. Could be a little dramatic. Avoid any type of control games or any type of spiritual bypassing that could be happening there, okay? Now, it's a fixed one. So fixed means challenges, okay? Also too, when you're talking about Juno and love and Vista, yeah, so a lot of issues with the ego and love and partnerships. Get ready for that. Hold on, let me see what we have here. Um oh, okay. Hello, what do we have here? We have LOL. What did I say? I don't remember. I'm late to it. It says here, "Hey girly, tapping in. Thank you so much, Gen X Diva, for responding. I am happy that you're here. I do want you to know that hold on. Let me look up my notes here and see what I if I have anything more. Hold on. Um I do want you to know that the sun being in Leo is going to affect Trump a lot. It's going to affect a lot of leaderships. It's going to affect a lot of influencers. Okay. Uranus in Gemini is a lot of influencers too. But that sun in Leo is like the influencers who are on stage. We might be getting some more stuff with P. Diddy and Jay-Z. I just think they're like celebrities. So anyone who you think is a huge celebrity. But okay, but squaring that Vesta, the sun squaring Vesta is going to be sacred devotion and commitment, right? There's going to be some problems with service of sacrifice or integrity. Vesta is also like sexuality. Yeah, especially in the sign Scorpio, and then even Juno. Juno could be more feminine energy, but it is about partnerships and agreements. So there's going to be some conflicts there around that time, around August 7th. And then on August 8th, it's going to try in Ceres, and this here fire sign. This is nourishment. I think of food, mother child dynamics, grief and separation. Yeah, but a lot of positivities, and it's something the first or the body or new when it comes to even fertility. If you guys are into fertility, I'm going to talk about medical astrology a little bit later too. And especially in Venus, with that Cancer, Venus and Cancer though. But we'll see if we could talk about it here. If I remember, remind me if I forget. But yeah, but nurturing yourself through independence, because that Aries is about the self, is about independence, is about something new and first. But there's some nourishment here. Mother yourself through bold actions. Okay. Now on August 9th, we have a full moon here. And now I think I want to take these off so we can see. Oops, keep Chiron. So now we have the full moon here, and the full moon in Aquarius. Okay. You're talking about breakthroughs and how you relate to the collective. The ego meets rebellion. Aquarius represents, is very detached to emotion. So usually full moons are very emotional, but whenever there's Aquarius full moon, it may not be as emotional. But there is fire. There is not fire. Well, there is fire, the Leo, but there is passion towards the people who aren't doing as good, the less fortunate, the rebellion, things that are very out of the box, the awkwardness, ego meets rebellion. Are you leading for applause or for a cause? Aquarius also represents the future. So emotions are more focused on the future as well. And if you see for this full moon, Mercury is retrograding. It's got a Y conjunction there, but the ruler of Aquarius is Saturn, and Saturn is sitting there next to Neptune. And Saturn also represents the government, restrictions, seriousness, and it's sitting next to this planet that is lost. But the planet is retrograding. So it's not lost. So this is going to be very interesting for us, like our future and our emotions dealing with the future, because it's not lost in the sauce, and it's retrograding. So it's repeating and redoing. It's not working its best as well. So maybe there's no limitations there. We'll see how it goes. I will do a full video on the Aquarius moon as we get closer to that season. Let me lower some windows here. Okay, so next we have August 10th. And August 10th 10th, the sun is going to quincunx the North Node, which is in the sign Pisces. This is our destiny. This is our purpose. This is our future, right? What are we supposed to be doing in this lifetime within this year? Because the North Node and South Node changes every year. And now there is tension here. So there's something for our future, and there's some tension there. So it's going to make us feel uncomfortable. Okay. Also, too, is going to square Juno, which I just brought up, and I talked about that earlier. But it's going to be officially squaring Juno at 18 degrees. And again, karmic misalignment or emotional adjustments. You may be feeling torn between your personal desires, maybe some karmic obligations. What are you supposed to do in this future? And now you're like, I feel led to do this, but for some reason there is discomfort involved here. So boundaries may be tested, my friends. Okay. Now, on the 19th, the sun is going to trine Chiron. This is what I was talking about in my in my intro, and it's going to trine Chiron. And Chiron is retrograding in Aries, and it is the planet of healing. So when it trines, that means that the ego can be healed, okay? Especially something of yourself or the individual, or something new, or something first, something singular. And bold and courageous, fire, very fiery. Healing your confidence, healing that ego, healing that inner child. So that's great energy. And then it will enter Virgo season. Now, I do want you to know, right before Virgo season, a lot of urgency with leaders, okay? Royalty, a lot of urgency there, and that would be August 22nd, and then it'll go into August 23rd, a Virgo season, and then we'll be talking about happy solar return to the Virgos, but we will not be giving them their birthday applause yet, okay? Because we're still in Cancer season. Just so you know. But we will be, in a nutshell, I want you to understand that the sun has not that much drama. Leo season, far as the sun and the ego, to me didn't seem so bad. We do have some clarity happening. The Leo likes to be in the sun, so that's even great. I did see at the very beginning of Leo, there was some positivity, but then we have that opposition to Pluto. And I feel like that was the biggest issue. Transformation, intensity, something that's very taboo and dark, not seeing eye to eye. Again, if we talk about Trump, which we should bring up Trump actually now, the Leo and Pluto makes me think of Trump because you're talking about some power dynamics here. But you also, what made me think about Trump is the Epstein and secrets and things that are very taboo and hidden is also involved here. So I'm going to bring up Trump here. And I want you to see what we have here looking at Trump's chart. I am in America. If you are in another country, hit me up. I'll look it up for you and I'll put it up in the next video and we can break down some predictions for you. Let me drink some water. Okay. So what we have here is that, let me see, where am I? Should I go now? Okay, first of all, Mercury, I've talked about this in my Mercury retrograde, is going to be retrograding in Trump's chart. So, in everyone's chart, but in his first house, it's going to be hitting that Pluto. If you see, it will be hitting his Pluto, which is in his first chart. Also, too, when we have the Cazimi, that's going to be hitting at around 8 or 9 degrees, that Cazimi. So that's going to be affecting Trump. If you see here, his Pluto is in at 10 degrees, okay? Mercury retrograde is going to be redoing, reviewing, resaying, repeating. So let's see what he's going to be tweeting, or even some glitches and delays, right? When you have the Cazimi, there's an aha moment, there's clarity. Now it's going to be on top of that Pluto. That Pluto can represent some intensity. Let's see what announcement he has coming up, or what type of revelation, or something with his identity, because it is only about Trump here. Only about Trump. Okay. Let me see what else. Pluto is the planet of power, transformation, regeneration, control, obsession, destruction, also things that are hidden. It represents things that are taboo, very Epstein kind of energy. I don't know if I said this too. When we had Mars in the sign Virgo, I drank too much water. When we had Mars in the sign Virgo, well, it's in the sign Virgo, but before it was conjunct the South Node. So in the sign Virgo. So that means like We are fighting for something in the past, for something that was in the past, which is very Epstein energy in a sign Virgo, which represents a list. Okay. If you know anything about Virgos, they love to write a list. Okay. So it's like release the list. We are fighting for the list. And it wasn't going great for Trump and his support and what he values. And he probably revalues a lot of his followers. Also too, where he has that platform he tweets on or whatever. He values that, and it wasn't working well for him at all. But also too, during Cancer season really squares a lot of stuff happening in his third house, in the house of communication and tweeting and things he says, and his harmony and balance, because in his sign Libra. Anyway, but I do want you to know that this Mercury retrograding is going to affect Trump, and then it will have a Kazemi that's going to affect Trump. Then we have a new moon in Leo that's going to affect Trump. Leo season is also going to bring something to light that is very secret and taboo for Trump, and look forward to that during Leo season, okay? Because it's going to be hitting all of it. The sun is going to shine a bright light, and it's going to be like, everyone look at me, especially in the sign Leo. Now you're really on stage. So he wants to be on stage. He wants to have that ego. Here you go. He could be more dominating and more power hungry and more power control. But the sun's going to bring light to it. It's also going to bring light to when it hits 26 degrees too. And that's going to be because he has a Mars at 26 degrees, and that's going to be around August 17th. So get ready for that. Okay. That is, you know, it's a lot of power and aggression. Okay. Maybe talks of war, maybe discussions of war, maybe at war, maybe fighting. A lot of that. I do want you to understand, though, what we have here is this Jupiter in the 12th house. So there's a huge expansion of secretness and things behind the scenes that we cannot see with Trump. We will see more of what all this could be revealing, or the things that are behind the scenes next year when Jupiter enters Leo. Okay. While Jupiter's in Cancer, a lot of stuff happening behind scenes for Trump, which we cannot see. Okay. A lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of secrets, a lot of secret enemies. I just want you to know that that is what we got going on currently for Trump. Since Leo season is happening, I thought, what's the perfect time to talk about the biggest Leo of all times. I remember when I first saw that he was a Leo rising, I was like, that's why his hair is such a big deal. And that's why he's orange. It's so Leo rising. If you guys, is that just me thinking about those things? Okay, so let's talk about the new moon. And the new moon, oh, before I talk about the new moon, I want to talk about July 23rd. That's going to happen. I'm filming this July 19th live. So on the 23rd of July, we got Venus, and it's squaring Venus and sign Gemini, and it's going to be squaring Mars, which is sitting next to that South Node, which I talked about earlier, about fighting with something of the past. It's getting less, it's reducing. So the past is like, we're not so much focused on the past, but there's still this fight with the past. And now it's not going with our balance and our harmony. Something with our past is fighting our inner harmony. Now, this is a benefic planet. Okay. It's not a great benefic, but it's a benefic planet. So there's something positive still that could be happening here when you have aspects that are dealing with Venus and Jupiter. It still could be positive for you. I do think that if you are born at nighttime, maybe this is not the best for you, because Venus is like your go-to planet if you're born at night. If you're born in daytime, Jupiter is your go-to planet. That's why Trump won. So now I'm going to predict those presidencies a little different way. Anyway, but so we have Venus is squaring Mars. Also, too, is a T square really with the North Node as well. So there is a T square. The focus is on your harmony and your balance, or a woman, or your aesthetics, or creativity. Yeah, let me see what else I have here. Also, too, Mars in Virgo is very precise. It wants to be very efficient. It's dealing with something with work in the details, very critical kind of energy when it comes to nitpicking and being perfect. Very annoying. It really bugs me. Anyway, but that square energy is going to have some tensions between the Venus, which wants to chat and communicate, and it finds harmony through communication. And now there's some tensions with something about being perfect. Okay. So relationship miscommunications, passive aggressive energy, creative or money making projects could be an issue. Venus is what we naturally attract. You naturally attract something, especially some positive affirmations in Gemini, right? You're naturally attracting some great communications, and now there is conflict and aggression coming your way, and it's very analytical. So this is a day like when someone's very judgmental of your looks and your aesthetics, and you're like, where did that come from? And you know what? You used to be shady like that in the past, okay? Also too, it's like, well, should I dress like this in the future? Because it's got that T square. But the focus is really you communicating your harmony and your balance, okay? So to channel this tension, channel it with some creativity and being productive. You want to rewrite something, go ahead and rewrite it, edit, because you're talking about that Gemini. Avoid any outcomes when it comes to love or money and focus more on observing and listening. So if you have conflicts when it comes to finances, because that Venus likes to deal with money, let it go. Okay, this is a mutable square. Mutable means change. Okay, so there's a lot of changes, and you like, I don't want this change. Okay, so now let's talk about the full moon that's happening this week or happening now. Okay, you're feeling it already. All right, let's talk about this new moon here. I'm gonna actually pull it up, the exact chart here. So with this new moon, where are we? Why is that not the new moon? What did I put in? Oh, Mercury. Let me put in the moon. Okay, so we have the new moon in Leo. Okay, now along with the sun, and the rising sign, the moon is very important, right? It gives you two things. It's very like the center of your chart, okay, and it gives you two things. There's a sense of containment here, of one of being at home, being your surroundings, your safety, your location, your environment. And then there's this matrix kind of energy. And we always talk about the movie Matrix at home. My husband brings it up. And then we're always analyzing the red and blue pill. I believe it's the bullets and the crypts, but that's a whole different story. But he was telling me that on the computer it said 9/11 when he was. I have to rewatch the movie. I don't know if you guys watched that. Anyway, but this it's the origin of all things. You're talking about the mother, right, of all things, and yeah. So you have the safety and the containment, and you have the mother of all things. I was just reading. Every time I do a video, I reread something or read something to help me focus on the video. And I love all the books that Robert Hand wrote. But this one is about horoscopes and symbols. Anyway, yeah, and I was reading on the moon. Anyway, so yes, you have the matrix and the origins of all things, but they're really the same, right? This containment of home and mother. And now you have this new moon, this new energy in Leo, and Leo represents the sun. So it's still at home and it's dealing with emotions, but could be very positive. Now, this new moon is going to work with all my fire signs. If you have any fire placements that are very early in signs, then it's going to work really well for you. It's going to trine you. Now, the new moon is not really getting along with my Aquarius energy. It's saying something's up here. There's an opposition here. We're not quite getting along. Okay. Also, too, it's not really getting along with all of my fixed signs. So that's all my Taurus and all of my Scorpios. Yeah, it's like there's a challenge here during this new moon. So even the placements, but when you have a new moon, you have the yin and the yang together. So you have the masculine, the feminine, you have the extrovert and the introvert, and now it's like hugging. So you would think that there's this balance and harmony, and it's in the sign Leo. Now a new moon, there's a new story every 12 times. Okay, it has a 12 new stories every time. And now the story is in the theme Leo. Leo, again, we talked about this at the beginning of the video, but all the new moons are giving a new story, just so you know. So, and it's also about manifesting something new, releasing some old attachments. You know how like you wish, let's say you had a dream to live in New York. Like, oh, I have a dream to live in New York. And now you're realizing that dream's not going to happen. Now the new moon is about releasing those things that are not happening. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but sometimes you think you have a plan and God has another plan for you. Hence why we have eclipses, okay? But also there's internal energy, there's clarity, there's intention, there's releasing, there's resetting, there's new beginnings, and there's manifestation. All with the new moon, okay? Now, it's also a fresh start. It's also a time to reset and rest. It's also a time to set for some intentions. You can do some ritual works or some routines, whatever you want to call them, to help with all of this energy. Now, the Leo story. Okay. Now, the Leo story is all about showing off. During this new moon, you can flirt, you can be creative, you can really love yourself, genuinely love yourself. You can indulge, you can spoil yourself. If you know anything about Leo energy, they love the lap of luxury. Okay. You can also, too, this is the sun child. Anyone born during the Leo moon is called the sun child, and they can just do about anything. Okay. Because they're creative, they're passionate, they're bold, and that is the energy that we can all embody during this Leo new moon. I keep saying Neo, because I'm thinking of Matrix. But it's very talented energy and it's very good at everything. Now, this new moon is going to happen at 12:11 p.m. Is that what happens? Yes. LA time, because I'm in LA. It's happening at 2 degrees in Leo. Now, all the things that are happening during this Leo new moon, it is opposing exactly at 2 degrees Pluto retrograding in Aquarius. That's the biggest thing. We'll get in that a little bit later. It's also exactly trining Neptune in Cancer. I mean, Neptune in Aries, which is retrograding. This is positive. This is also sextiling this energy. So that's positive. Okay. And then it's also sextiling Uranus. Okay. Balkan is in there and it's sitting right next to this new moon, too. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but it's sextiling this. So there's some positive, more than positive things. There's this opposition, and these three are already dealing with each other. They're already working with each other. But now here's the new moon. Okay. Now, let me see. Taurus degree. Taurus degree is 2 degrees. Okay. So this is in 2 degrees. This is in 2 degrees. This is in 2 degrees. 2 degrees is dealing with finances, what you value, is dealing with what else is Taurus degree? Comfort, senses, touching, feeling, the banks, gold, stocks. Okay. All that is involving that, especially in that Leo gold, right? All that is involving some part of this Leo new moon. Okay. So maybe you're going to manifest in what you truly value in some finances or some gold or some stocks or bonds or, or even a value of the voice too, because Taurus does represent the voice. Anyway, but let me see what else. Oh, and also too is very grounded energy. Grounded. There's something grounded and fixed that's not budging. Okay. Could be a good thing, could be bad thing. We'll see. Okay. Let me see what else we have. Material, creativity, rooted in comfort and sensuality. So like it's building the stage. There's something tangible. Because that Taurus is also an earth sign energy. So something tangible and physical that could be happening too. Now, let me tell you about this opposition here. Now, when the new moon is opposing Pluto, the big old planet Pluto in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the collective, it's about the people, it's about systems, it's about groups, friendships, rebellion, surveillance, detachment, technology, and future. And it's like your self expression is not seeing eye to eye with your group of friends who done changed on you. You trying to manifest some new stuff, and they trying to change. Are they intense? Because that Pluto is very intense. Okay, so there's power struggles between the self and the system. There's ego, and there's a rebirth of the ego that could possibly be happening, and there's a reset, especially when you have that new moon. Remember, new moons is a reset. There could be some shadow integration happening here. Pluto represents things that are very taboo. So the shadow side things that are very hidden, things that you've rejected, things that you exiled, you're like, that's taboo. And now it's coming up. It's like you were part of a group that was like the secret porn group. And now they came out and the sun is shining bright on them. And it was like, I didn't want anyone to know I was part of that porn group. I just an example. Okay. It doesn't have to be a porn group. It could be like you're a part of a group that's dealing with poker, and maybe you think gambling is so shady and you think it's taboo, but you're secretly a part of this. That could be happening too. Whenever the sun's involved, it's going to highlight something. It's going to shine a light on it. And Pluto likes to be dark and secretive. So the sun is shining a bright, and you can't see eye to eye. Anyway, there could be some creative, emotional changes happening, transitioning happening, healing happening. All that could be happening. Now, also too, you have this trine. This is positive. Okay. So meanwhile, while that's happening over there, this discipline and this courage and this love and this compassion and this long-term energy, and it's very serious, it's very authentic when it comes to leadership and mentorship. is very positive for you. Okay, there's no limitations, there's no secrets, and maybe that taboo thing that was secretive, now the secret is lifted, and maybe it gives you a blessing, and it makes you be who you genuinely are, and this can help you, and you can see that really come back up during the full moon too, because it's all a cycle here. What else we have? Rooted passion and purpose, second chances with structure, because you are talking about retrograde energy. Quiet strength and real confidence. I'm very confident and serious, and also too, this is the planet of pessimism, and now there's no pessimism. So this could be a great time to committing to projects that you thought were negative or that you were fearful of, or you had some confusions about, or building a realistic action plan around your dreams. Whenever you have a new moon, no, you're not actually doing it. You're just sitting and thinking about it. Okay. New moons and full moons, you sit. Okay. Setting long-term creative career or visible goals, honoring a new version of yourself that is very bold and responsible and has compassion, and there's sacrifice involved here, or there's intuition and spirituality added to it too. Okay. Very positive on this part. Also too, when it's sextile this Uranus, that means that if you do something that's very out of the box, something that's very different when you're manifesting, or there's a surprise here, if you just open the door, surprise, and it really works for you. Now, Uranus also is in the sign Gemini, and is very communicative. It's very social. So that aspect could be added to this new moon. So basically what I'm saying in a nutshell, when I'm talking about this new moon in Leo, what I want you to understand is there's going to be something opposing you. It could be very intense, and there could be some power dynamics happening. However, you have two great planets on your side, and it's in a fire sign, and it's retrograding, meaning that it's not really working the way it should. This could be a good thing because Neptune causes some confusion. The confusion is lifted. Saturn causes some limitations and fear and pessimism, and that's lifted. So there's no limitations, there's no fogginess, and there is spirituality and awareness and long-term goals being achieved when you manifest something that is truly expressing in a Leo element that's very bold, courageous, and self-expression. So very positive for the most part. Let's try to work on the healing and the deep dark secrets. Okay. Great for creativity this new moon. Yeah, also too, because it's going to be conjunct Valcon in Leo, then you're talking about the ego is being reformed. It's a fragile ego, and you're building something from discipline, and you're refining your passion into purpose. There's structure, there's soul pressure, and there's sacred responsibility added to this, right? Yeah, let me see what else we have here. Sudden burst of creativity with that Uranus, unexpected invitations and insights. Also with that Uranus, and liberation. Oh yes, Uranus also means freedom. Freedom. Like, you know what? I'm tired of doing it this way. I'm tired of sticking to the traditions. I want to do something different. I want to be liberated. That also is added with this new moon. Okay. Let me see what else we have. Yes, I think that's all what we have for here. Now, far as my community post, I'm going to talk about how we're going to go from this Leo moon and how it connects to the full moon coming up, which is that Aquarius new full moon, and that will be on my community page. So, if you want to know how this new moon and manifesting can will start to see the zenith and the climax of that during that full moon in Aquarius, how that connects, then go ahead and check out that. Now, I'm going to do my horoscopes for you guys. Now, I don't think I have banners on here. I don't have banners. So what I want you guys to do is, oh, should I add the banners? Am I being lazy? Okay, talk about. Okay, now I can't. I'll add a banner later. Okay, the technology is way too advanced for me. Okay, Pluto is in Aquarius, and I have a huge transformation in technology. I upgraded in a lot of things, and one thing at a time. What do we have in the comments here? Danyell, we appreciate you just the way you are. What was your book? I have an ebook. It's on my website. Check that out. My parents, Venus, Mars were opposing in Leo, Virgo. You're describing them. I hope that's positive though. What I'm describing, that Venus, my parents, Venus. I don't know what that means, but their Mars were opposite in Leo. Okay, so that means Aquarius or Virgo. I'm not sure. But yes, I hope it's positive. Everyone has some negative and positive aspects of their chart. It's just a matter of knowing it and knowing how to deal with it. Okay. Now, this is the horoscopes, and I don't have banners, and I apologize to everyone. But maybe I'll do timestamps when I look at this. I am tired though. What are my zodiac signs? Okay. Mr. Account, I don't know your zodiac signs. If you want to know your birth chart, you can go ahead and click the link in my bio and you can do a chart reading. But you have to know your birth time, what time you were born, and your location. Now, if you just want your chart yourself, you can get that free on any website. You can just, there's, I think it's called Astro.com. You can get a free chart there. Sometimes it's complicated for some people. There's another one, astrocharts.com. There's so many websites. Time Passages is really good. But there's a lot of websites where you can get it at a very low cost or free. You can get your chart for free for sure, but analyzing your chart, you can get that at a low cost on a lot of apps. But if you want my chart reading, which is very extensive, that would cost you. Okay. Um, but you know what? I'm thinking sometimes maybe Aquarius season, I'm gonna do like a 50% discount. Like Aquarius season represents astrology. So maybe around Aquarius season, if you guys remind me, I'll do 50% off. Also too, when it's your birthday, you want to do a progressive chart, and progressive chart is how you are this coming up year. Okay. Perfection chart is also really good too. Yeah, perfection chart is really your year, and progression is like where my sun has changed, where's my moon has changed, because those change. Gets a little complicated, account. Mr. Account. But if you want to know the simple thing, just go on an app that just reads your chart, and some of them do it for low cost and free. It gives you more general thing, because it is like a robot and it's giving you a general statements. When you're dealing with humans, you know what, I was just thinking, I went to an herb store yesterday and I'm like all into these herbs, and then I went home and went on ChatGPT, okay, to research the herbs. And then I went back to the herb store and was like, oh, actually, I want this herb and this herb. And the herbalist looked at me and said, where did you get your information from? And I was like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you that I looked on AI. And she was like, exactly. If you don't have a book or someone who studied it for a long time, I would not go to AI because of glitches. So the same will go for astrology, right? You go in astrology, you use these computer systems, and they don't use their intuition. They don't use the real knowledge that you have studied with all the books and all the years of knowledge that you have built up. They don't use those things, but it's fine. They do have the internet. So there's good and bad with that. Okay, so Aries. Now we have the Leo moon, Leo season, and Leo new moon is happening in your fifth house. This is a house of creativity. This is a house of fun. This is a house of short romance, fertility, your children. There's going to be some highlights on that. Okay, so get ready for that. You might be rekindling some love interest as well. Also, too, you got that Mercury already retrograding in there, so it's redoing, and the kids are coming back and they're saying this and they're doing that. Get ready for that. It's a time to take center stage, though, maybe in some creative endeavors. Now we have, let me move this right here. We have the Eight of Swords here. The Eight of Swords is saying that you feel like you're the victim. That could be that Mercury retrograde in that fifth house. And you need to collaborate with something young. Okay, so maybe someone who's young is maybe the one that's causing a lot of emotions. If you are a mother or a father, there's something with childhood. But you need to listen to them. You need to collaborate them. You need to know that they are playing victim or you are playing victim. Okay. Lovers, there needs to be heavy communication. There needs to be harmony and balance for you. Okay. That is what we have for my Aries. Taurus. Now, this new moon and full moon, this new moon in Leo is happening in your fourth house. The sun is entering your fourth house. Mercury is retrograding in your fourth house. Okay. These are themes of the home, of your family, of your past, of your ancestry and inner foundations. There's something, and it doesn't have to just be your mother. It could be your father, whoever was your safety net. There's some redoing and discussions of that. Okay. Redefining what safety, comfort, and emotional roots mean to you. Beautifying your space. Not necessarily that's Venus, but Why do I have that in my notes? But not beautifying, redoing your space. What is safety looking like for you? Rethinking it, manifesting to beautify your face, your space, your home. Yeah, healing your family dynamics and fresh confidence. For you, we have your cup running over. God is giving you some new opportunity in love and emotions. Okay, very positive for you during Leo season. I will see you next time. Now, Geminis. Now, the new moon is happening in your third house. This is a manifestation of communication, of writing, of your mindset, of something, of your learning something new. Like, you know what? I really want to learn this new. You can do that. Now, the opposition is happening in the ninth house. So it's like you want to focus on the details, but there's opposition happening on the greater picture. Be aware of that. This is all about bold new beginnings in writing, speaking, or local projects. This could be dealing with something with your siblings and some relatives. Pitch that idea, launch that blog. There's some power dynamics happening with that, though. Or rewire old mental patterns. Okay, let's see what we have for you. My Geminis, we have the Two of Swords. You're like back and forth. There's a stalemate here. You cannot make a decision during Leo season. Let's see what you can do. I mean, usually go off of your intuition, but there needs to be some moving forward. Do not be scared to move forward. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Cancers. Now all this Mercury energy, Mercury retrograding, the new moon in Leo, the sun entering Leo, it's in your second houses of finances, of money, what you value, your voice. Okay, a potent moment for financial intentions, or business launching, maybe redefining your relationship with abundance and what you value and what you earn. It's time to budget and save that coin. There's going to be a new message coming out and it's going to give you some clarity, probably when you have that Kazemi. Also, this is a start of speaking your truth, okay? Especially when it comes to something you value. All right. Now, Leos, this is happening in your first house. This is all about you. I should have started it first with you, and you would have loved that. You would have been like, why don't you always start it with Leo? Anyway, but Mercury's retrograding in Leo. You got the same stuff going on as Trump. You're not Trump, not to compare you to Trump, but you are Leo rising, which is fine. It could mean you have gorgeous hair. Okay, that is the opposite of Trump. Okay, maybe you have your heart on, like you wear your heart on your sleeve. I mean, this is a Leo rising attribute. Now, but this is a house of self, identity, and image. This is a personal new year for you. It's about a rebrand. It's a glow up. It's initiating some bold moves. It's being courageous. It's being brave. There's passion. There's fire. There's creativity, and there's big main character energy. Now you are starting a new journey. Now, when you have the Fool card, you have to expect the unexpected. There's some opposition or some intensity with your loved ones or your partner or a business partner, maybe even something with aesthetics, but you want to pack light. Okay. But you want to use all the tools that God has given you, your intuition, your creativity, your intellect, the fact that you can research materials, take all that stuff with you on this new journey and use a lot of Aries energy, which is all about being bold and starting something new. Okay. Virgos. Now, Leo energy is ruling your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is about the subconscious. It's also about your healing. It's about solitude. There's forgiveness. So you might be working on some forgiveness during this new moon. Also, there's releasing secrets, hidden enemies, things that are very religious and spiritual also is a dynamic here. This is a time to retreat and reset, a powerful time for spiritual practices, dream work, or releasing self-sabotage patterns. This is a time for solitude, not loneliness, solitude. Be careful with this Leo energy because it could be shining a light on things that are very dark for you, and this might be good for you. There is a rebirth that begins here because next season is going to be a start of a new journey. Now we have the hangman. This hangman represents Neptune. It represents secrets. It represents being in this spiritual aspect. Okay. Also too, it's sacrificing something. So you may have to sacrifice something. You might have to change your perspective because if you change your perspective, it will enlighten you. And usually that perspective is more intuitive and spiritual as well. All right. I will see you next time. Bye. Libras is new moon, Leo season, and Mercury is retrograding in your 11th house. Now, this is a house of future, science, again, astrology. This also is a house of community, friendships, a large group, your network, and your vision, your hopes and dreams. This is a great time to manifest. Okay, this new moon is your best new moon, even though there's opposition happening over there. In that, what house is the opposite of 11th house? Why am I drawing a blank? That fifth house of creativity and yourself and self expression. This is still very positive for you because this new moon is dealing with some hopes and dreams. So you can really manifest. Whenever the new moon is in your 11th house, this is the best manifestation ever. So really take the time and think like really what I want to work on my hopes and dreams. Now, this is saying yes to new cycles, collaboration, causes, working with people, dealing with science and technology in your future. What you plant now expands your network, also helps you with your future and thriving. Okay. Also too, you may want to not just collab, but there's a sense of rebelliousness here. There is a huge transformation happening for you. I pulled the death card, and death card represents transformation, represents rebirth, it represents starting anew, digging the dirt out of the, and that's that Pluto on the opposite side, is digging the dirt out, is like going through the dark to, okay, it's like cleaning that dirty closet when you get everything out and it's a mess. But then you declutter, you reorganize, and you put it back in and you fold everything, and everything has its nice place. And now it's better than ever. That's basically what that card represents in regards to your friendships, your community, your hopes and dreams, and your future. You got to declutter. You got to get the stuff out the closet. All right. I will see you next time. Scorpios, this new moon, Mercury retrograding, and the sun, and that Kazemi is all happening in your 10th house. The 10th house is all about the career, your reputation, and your purpose. This is about everyone look at me. I'm on stage, okay? Step into your leadership. This new moon is about owning your brilliance publicly at work. Yes, or if you are a podcaster or a journalist or anything, everyone's looking at you. It's very strategic in your career moves and moving forward, and it's aligning with things that you really want for your future. Let's pull some cards for you, okay? There is this energy of lacking. And I'm sure because that Mercury is retrograding, okay? So that card is the Five of Pentacles. But then we have the Hermit card. The Hermit card says that you need to do the work, you need to do the research, you need to learn on yourself. That's the Virgo card. Clean, declutter, have clarity, organize your thoughts. Also, too, Virgo is very hardworking and pays attention to the details. So you're here focusing on the lack and the negative while that Mercury is retrograding. But that new moon is telling you to manifest in details, in manifesting in hard work, in manifesting in cleansing of some sort, declutter something, and organizing that brain and that mind thought. All right. I will see you next time. Now, Sagittarius, the new moon is happening in your 9th house of expansion, travel, and higher truth. I am a Sagittarius rising. Okay. So we are here with each other. I have planets in the 9th house. If you have any planets in the 9th house, this would probably be more spicy and interesting. We are dealing with fire energy, and it's retrograding, okay? The 9th house also represents publication. It represents the World Wide Web. It represents the world. Traveling, okay? Did I say travel? Yes. Say yes to any adventure, study, teach, travel, publishing something. Faith, not fear. It's time to launch. It's time to move forward. It's time to be optimistic. This also is a house of law as well. So be aware of that. But you need to save your coins, keep your cards close to your chest. There is some heartbreaks. There's something from your past, especially with that Mercury retrograding. This is the Sankofa symbol here. I have it tattooed on me. But there's something from your past, and there's some heartbreaks there. I'm going to pull another card because I'm a Sagittarius rising as well. With this heartbreak, you need to think of abundance. You need to think of what you have. You need to manifest and work on your wishes. Okay. Manifest whatever it is. Even though in the past you're like, this didn't work, that didn't work, it doesn't matter. Okay. Of course, you need to pay attention what didn't work in the past so you can change it in the future, but you need to work on manifestation. Okay. Maybe I'll do a whole nother like TikTok or post. Yeah, I said post twice on manifestation and how to manifest. Okay, Capricorns, we have the 8th house. This is the house of transformation, power, and intimacy. Things that are very taboo. This is also like shared resources. Okay, so like taxes, debt, inheritances. Yeah, so you may get something financially. Maybe there'll be emotional breakthrough. This moon is for you reclaiming your power through vulnerability, through therapy. Psychology is in this house, and deep commitments as well. Again, house of taboo, house of finances too, money, but it's like shared money. So if there's something that you're like, I really hope I get this money for my family, or taxes or debts or loans that I own, I hope that works out. You can manifest in that. And we got a king of cups from you. A lot of emotions, but this is great. You're the king of it. So there's a lot of power with your emotions happening here. Yeah, especially when it comes to finances. You have Pluto in that second house there. So there is this tug of war between that. Be aware of that. But this new moon is about you manifesting something powerful that can help you psychologically. All right. Aquarius, this is happening in your seventh house. The seventh house is a house of relationships, contracts, and mirrors. Okay, mirrors meaning like what you're doing I'm doing, or what I'm doing you're doing. That happens in that seventh house. And it's I want you to set clear anything dealing with love, anything dealing with partnership, anything dealing with working with someone else, because like it could be you and a therapist, or you and a mechanic, are you in a construction worker, okay? Or any type of collaboration. Align with people who honor your heart and your vision. There's an opposition of the self versus yourself, okay? The seventh house also represents your partner. Literally, it may not even be about you, okay? But you can manifest things about aesthetics and harmony and balance. Also too, this is justice. This is a house of justice and fairness. There's a lot of weight. It could be a lot of weight on your partner itself, and it's opposing you because you're changing. There's a transformation, or there is a lot of weight on yourself, okay? There's a weight on somebody, either you or the relationship. It's a heavy load, but that is the 10 of wands, and the 10 of wands represents that it's the end, okay? And it's going to start a new beginning. You already at the top of the mountain, and now there's going to be a new beginning. You're at the end, okay? Aquarius. All right, that's what I was saying. Aquarius. Now Pisces. Okay, Pisces. This new moon, Mercury is retrograding, and the sun is in your sixth house. The sixth house is all about work, 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 work. Sacrifice, service to others, a huge thing in habits and health, workflows. Okay, so it's time for lifestyle reset. What you commit to now, your routine, your fitness, your system, all that you can manifest. If you're like, I really want to quit eating carbs and sugar, this is a great time for you to manifest that, okay? I really want to quit this vice and really work on our mental health. This is also really good for you, okay? It builds momentum for a real transition. We have the Knight of Swords for you. The Knight of Swords is all about being anxious when it comes to knowledge, being anxious when it comes to speaking your truth, being anxious and really having not anxious in a bad way, but like excited, okay? Excited with the truth, excited with knowledge, excited with being bold and courageous with the word, the power of word, reading a lot and researching a lot too. I'm really being excited about that, okay? Now I'm going to pull some cards just for everyone. And if you're on this live, this will be for you too, if you stayed on here. You don't have to be live to get this, but if you're still here, this is only for you, okay? Because you stayed, okay? It's not for anyone else. Now we have the 10 of coins here for you guys here. I see there's a few of you guys here. The 10 of coins represents the finances. It represents a lot of wealth. It represents abundance, okay? So there's an abundance of finances and also tangible items. So abundance in health, abundance is anything physical, your home, any type of tangible, your physical body, any type of tangible item, there's abundance. Then we have the world card. This is a major arcana, and it represents success and closure. There's accomplishment with this abundance that's going to happen to you exclusively during Leo season. And then we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is you being that true Leo, okay? You have the passion. You have the passion to help others. You can motivate others. You can motivate yourself. This is self-motivation. This is self-passion. You can be passionate about others. A lot of love, a lot of caring, a lot of strength and courage happening for you, and people see you as a leader in that department. Very positive. And then also we have the King of Swords. Mercury is retrograding, but it ain't gonna be retrograding for you, okay? Mercury is retrograding in Leo, but that retrograde and that Kazemi happening for you is going to bring you true strength in the power of words. People are going to come to you and say, how do I communicate this? How do I think about this? How do I organize my thoughts in this? How do I know the truth? What is the truth? They're going to be like, you know the truth, okay? So very positive reading for you guys as a collective, whoever's here, okay? Very positive. If you are listening to this via podcast, very positive for you. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's all about Venus in Cancer. We're going to be talking about love. We're going to be talking about harmony. We're going to be talking about the past. And if we got any mother relationships, that will be happening for you. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, I didn't play my thing.